In this video, we are reviewing how to graph the equation of a line. So remember that for a line, the equation we're using is y equals mx plus b. And we've been using this formula for a while, but now we're doing slope instead of just growth. It's the same thing, but now we have fractions instead of just integers. So m represents a slope or the growth, and then b represents the y-intercept or figure 0. So looking at my first equation, so 3 is my y-intercept. Remember, this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. So the the y-intercept is just where the line crosses the y-axis right here. Okay, so because our y-intercept is 3, I'm going to put a dot at 3. And then from there, I'm going to do my slope. So remember, the number on top is the rise, and the number on the bottom is the run. So remember, for rise, I always think about sun because the sun goes up and down every day. And then for run, it's side to side because when you run, you're going side to side. So we have up and down and then side to side. So I start at my 3 right here. And then because the rise is 1, I'm just going to go up 1. And then my run is 4, so I go over 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once I get there, I'm going to put my dot. And then I'm just going to connect those two dots, and that is my line. So again, you start with the y-intercept, which is this number. And then after, you just do your rise and then you run. And then wherever you end up, you just put a dot and then you draw the line. Okay, so for B, so we have 1 is our y-intercept. So again, this is the y-axis. So I'm looking at where does the line cross the y-axis. So I put my dot at 1. Oops. Okay, at 1. And then this time my slope is negative 2 over 5. So the thing that's tough with this is, like, what's happening with that negative? Is 2 and 5 negative? Is only one of those negative? Well, I know that 2 and 5 can't be negative because I know that a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So 2/5 and negative 2/5 are not the same thing. So when we do this, only one of the numbers is negative. So you can either say that it's negative 2 over 5, or you can say that's 2 over negative 5. It doesn't matter as long as only one of those numbers is negative. So I usually just make the top number negative, so I'm just going to think of it as negative 2/5. So I start my y-intercept here at 1, and then so my rise is negative 2, and because it's negative, that means I go down, so 1 and 2. And then I go over 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then draw my line. Oh, sorry, I forgot to label it. So this is 5. Let me connect the points. Okay, and there's my line. So one thing to check is to make sure that the line is going the right way. So like on A, this is a positive slope. So if I think about this line, it's going uphill, which means it's increasing as a positive slope, so that checks out. And then on B, because we have this negative right here, this is going to be a decreasing or a downhill line, and that checks out here because my line is going downhill. So you just want to make sure you check the slope and make sure that your line is decreasing if it's supposed to be.